Welcome Matt Freeman's Bass Bunker. I'm Matt Freeman. Okay, today I'm going to do a play-along video to the Crimewave 66 song, Wall of Death. Crimewave 66 is a new band I'm in, and I'm going to tell you about the song, who's in the band, and how it all came together. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the band a little bit and sort of how this whole thing came together and what the band's about. So the band has four members. It has me, Rob Malecki on guitar, and it was sort of his whole concept idea. He played in the Huns for a long time. He was in the Grabbers, and he was actually in Devil's Brigade, the guitarist for Devil's Brigade when I was touring around with that. Chris Huber is the singer. He was in an old Orange County band, the Negatives and Inverted Nines. And then Joel Newcomer, also known as Joe Ronimo, he was a drummer. And actually, I knew him from, he was one of the drummers in the Huns. They had a few different guys. He was actually probably the best one they ever had. Really good drummer. So anyway, Rob had this concept for this band, and he had these songs he was talking about. And we were talking about it for a couple years, and he was like, hey, I've got this thing I want to put together. Would you want to play bass on it? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do whatever you want. But I'm real busy. At the time, I was real busy. Like Rancid was in a big touring cycle, and kids. One who's graduating from high school. There's a lot going on. And so anyway, last year after the whole Green Day tour that Rancid went on, I had some time finally, and he called up. He said, hey man, I got studio time. It's about February of last year down at Pot of Gold Studios with Dave Irish. Dave Irish is another guy, old Orange County guy. He's been around forever. He's engineer, producer guy. And he goes, let's just go in and do it. Can you do these days? I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. So I said, hey, send me some demos, right? And he's like, yeah, I've got demos. Well, the demos he had were him on an iPhone with an electric guitar, not plugged in, I don't think, and then Chris sort of singing over it. Now that's fine. I've done more with less. But the good news is that I knew Rob's obviously a solid player. I'd heard good things about Chris, and I knew for a fact that Joel was a solid player. And it's sort of been my experience over the years that if you get a really good drummer, at least with me, I've done like sessions with people and done songs here and there. As long as the drummer's good, has good times, a really good drummer, my job is half done. I mean, for me, like I can get a good rhythm, good things out of that. What the other people do with it, that's their problem. So anyway, so I was pretty confident everything was going to go, but you never know. Anyway, everything went great. We recorded, 5, 6 songs over a few days, and it was a lot of fun. Now, some of the stuff we actually wrote in the studio. This song especially just had verses and choruses, and then we came up with this sort of really cool bridge. And then, so we're in there in the bridge, and it was going to be a solo, and I said, why don't you put a baritone guitar on there? Now, baritone guitar, I'm going to show you guys real quick, is a little different than a regular guitar. You guys can look up the history of it. It's been around for a long time, but basically you have a regular Telecaster here, Fender Telecaster, regular guitar, and then you have the baritone, which, here, I'll show you, it's the bass bunker. If you can see, it's a little longer, okay? And when I mean the scale, it's like halfway between sort of a bass and a guitar. There's another one called a Fender 6, which is sort of like that guitar up on the wall, which I'll get into someday. That's not an actual Fender 6, but so yeah, if you see the necks here, this is a little longer, so it has a little deeper, cooler tone. Surf guys back in the 60s used these a lot, country guys. But anyway, so of course, I said, put a baritone guitar, and Dave had one. He had a Squier sort of like that. And then they're like, well, why don't you, it's your idea, why don't you play it? So I played the solo on it, and it was pretty cool. Dave, Pot of Gold Studio has a lot of cool vintage amps, so he actually sort of knew what to do with it. He put it through a Silvertone with the tremolo and the vibrato, and then vintage Silvertone and like a bunch of reverb in it. It came out pretty well. Yeah, so that's about it on the band. And then we don't have a record yet, but basically we played some shows. I'm going to talk about the shows after I actually play the song. Okay, so like I said, we're going to do a little backwards today. I'm going to play you guys a song, play through the song, and then I'll show you what I'm doing on the other side of it. All right, so let's see if I can pull this one off. Okay, it sort of has this long guitar intro. For all you amp guys out there, this is Rob Malecki playing a Les Paul Custom through a old 80s Marshall JMP. Sounds pretty good. Okay, so there's a song. As you can see, it's pretty rootsy. I was really going for groove and simplicity on this track, especially on the verses. So Rob's doing this. You know, the guitarist is doing a bunch of stuff. So I just pretty much locked in with Joel, the drummer, and just made it sort of as simple as possible. And all I'm doing is this. And that's all that is needed. It lets everything else go on top of that and sort of flow. I get a little busier in the chorus, and like I've talked before, I like to sort of change bass lines up. And I'm just doing your basic sort of like country, rockabilly, almost like an upright line. That's basically it. Same thing on that bridge I was talking about with the baritone. The root notes are just so A, G, F, E, and I'm just following the scale, just. That's it. And that's just, you know, the classic line. I'm just trying to keep it moving and stay in the groove. That was like sort of my whole, I get asked in the comments all the time, what's your approach? My approach is just to lock in with the drummer and just do a good groove. And I did it on this song. Like I said before, that baritone solo is on the bridge, and then the guitar solo, Rob is doing that. So that's basically it. This is a really cool song. The subject matter of this song is really cool. So the Wall of Death is actually a real thing. It basically is, it's like this old sort of circus attraction where it's like a eccentric circle made of wood, and motorcycles basically get centrifugal force and go basically sideways around this circle. It's really cool. It's like an old like Daredevil thing from the 30s or the 40s, and it still exists today. We actually played the Texas Born Free Motorcycle Festival in Texas last year. It was actually our first show. And that was a lot of fun. And we actually played in front of an actual wall of death. It's run by these guys, the Ives brothers. And they basically take this thing all around the country and they just do this really cool like motorcycle Daredevil stuff. I saw it. It's really rad. It's like not CG'd at all. It seems pretty freaking dangerous and pretty rickety, and it's just cool to see something real like that. So, you know, if you guys get a chance to ever check out that'd be really cool. But otherwise, yeah, so anyway, new band, new song, different kinds of bass lines, and, you know, there you go. Okay, so there you go. Thanks for watching. A little different today, talking about the new band, new bass lines. I'm going to be doing songs for this band periodically and other songs. Let me know down in the comments what you guys want to see. I actually read as many comments, like I said before, as I can. I try to like incorporate stuff in there. I've actually got some stuff coming up that's directly taken from the comments. And thanks to everybody that likes and subscribes. And as always, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.